I started with Code Liberation just by meeting Phoenix at the Game Developers Conference, and we bonded over the fact that we felt kind of alone in the tech talks, which were mostly attended by men. Most of the speakers were men.
I'm showing my game and guys are asking me like, so is there anyone here who can tell me about this game? And like, I'm like, this is my game.
We had both had experiences in the game development industry where we were the only women, where we really didn't have that many role models to look up to, where it seemed like we didn't really belong.
In 1991, 42% of programmers in America were women. And that number has just slid, and we're down to 24% now. Women were actually considered more suited to programming, and as money began to come into it, as it began to be seen as something that was really powerful, women were kind of dissuaded from going into the field. And then this dialogue slowly started emerging of misogyny. And this just facilitated this bro culture that I think was really unhealthy, really unsustainable, and is how we got to where we're at.
I had really wanted to be a game designer as a kid, but I had never really seen any female game designers.
My school counselor basically suggested I don't do any of the hard sciences, and they call them hard sciences.
As I got older, I got really into theater, and that was like what my mom wanted me to do really badly.
People are so used to girls being cut into this little small mold, and it's impossible for anyone to be any different.
I think games are important to culture in the same way that movies are important. They control the narrative, right? They control what people think, they control how they feel, they control how they see themselves.
Games really enable you to do things that most other media don't. You get the excuse to behave in ridiculous ways, or you get the excuse to kind of play with the boundaries that you brush up against in everyday life, but in this sort of safe, constrained area.
I think that conversations about things that we don't normally talk about are the most interesting conversations, and games give a good sort of runway for starting those conversations.
They sort of allow you to step into someone else's shoes and learn what it's like to be in their life. How we portray people, especially women and other kinds of diverse people, it sort of makes us able to either joke about their lives or to take them as serious individuals.
I think that there's nothing more fulfilling and empowering than actually seeing someone enjoy something that you put out into the world.
Code Liberation is an organization that teaches games programming to women for free.
You know, show these women that games is a place for them, that code is a place for them.
I taught Code Liberation High School all of last year in partnership with NYU's K-12 STEM program. Not only were they interested in making games, they were like, now I can make my own website and I can do all this stuff on the internet. And some of them were seriously like, oh, I think I'm probably gonna try and go to college for this.
We don't just focus on young women, we also try to focus on women who have already sort of dropped off like we did when we were younger, and we try to sort of pull them back into game development. We run events like game jams, board game nights, to not just empower women to create these games and to get them into the industry, but also to sort of create a community where they feel comfortable and safe.
This community where people can see each other as role models. Women can support each other in their own work. They can reach out to each other when they inevitably face some of the harder parts of being in this industry.
Almost every class we run be completely sold out, and it has done nothing but prove to me in New York alone there are a ridiculous number of women who want to be part of the gaming community.
It's been really powerful to see the attendees of our classes come in knowing very little about programming and then go out and like see them making real games in the real world and like releasing them. It's so cool.
This person who might have a 10-year background in computer science can kind of help someone else who maybe has never ever touched any kind of game program or programming whatsoever, and you start to see these collaborations in really meaningful and kind of changing way for a lot of these people.
It changed me. It really shaped my future. When I took the Code Liberation class, I really felt I was at my niche. Like, this is it. Like, I want to do game development.
Code Liberation is community and collaboration.
It was so daunting to me, but then I realized I could do it.
Code Liberation is doing, not saying.
I think everyone should be making games.
Inspiring.
It's like your own imagination coming into life.
It's empowerment.
I'm excited. I can't wait to learn something new.
What I would think of as girl power.
It will make other people notice how we see ourselves.
Code Liberation is the future.